was like, Belle had a friend that, yeah, she just was killing it, so.
We have never done well, so I just.
So it's, but yeah, that construction was such a.
It's a tough one.
And it's tough.
The odds of doing that again are.
Well, I think
very-
it also helps having someone in your family that
Jim's
is solid.
sister, yeah, she was good.
Dell went past what Ann knows it could do. Pretty, probably by the time she's. So probably your third, maybe your sixth year.
So we went
Dell-
99.
And yeah, and then, well, never mind the project. High school, it's just.
Oh, wow.
Something to
All right. 6 o'clock, gonna call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everybody. It's great to see people here today. 2, 4, 6, 6 of them, all right. And okay. Have to have the reading glasses on. Call to order is done. Are there any changes to the agenda? Okay. The minutes of July 15th, which Georgia has given us.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Have a motion from Ron. And do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion from Ron Holiday, a second from Joe Klein. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
All abstained since I wasn't here.
Okay. And any opposed? So we have 4 ayes and 1 abstain from David Fisher because he wasn't here. All right, chairman comments. I asked. Georgia had said that we're probably gonna have some people here that are interested in what's going on at the well field. So I asked Dan to prepare something for me, just to give us a little starting point of information and. So with my reading glasses, I will read it. Okay, the water terror area at 6213 Warrior Drive. After the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Centers, President Bush signed an anti-terrorism act requiring the FBI and Homeland Security to set requirements for water utilities to strengthen security measures at all sites. One of the requirements is to secure the well fields, towers, and equipment with fencing. We are looking at the costs associated with this that should have been done many years ago. There is a grant fund that went out that would cover the cost for a shovel-ready project. We have trees and brush along the property line that is going over some owner's property that have been requested to be cleaned up. We are looking at clearing a path around the property that can be mowed from time to time. This is just the first phase, which is to get cost. If we are able to get the grant, then notice of the project would be provided on our website, giving information on what is going on and when. The future for the area is to have test wells drilled for water quality and quantity for a future well for capacity of area and future growth of the town. Until I was on the board, I didn't really know what the term shovel ready project means. But to apply for something, we have to have it ready to go. Like we have to say, here's what we've got, it's ready, it's cleared, it's ready. Here's our plans, here's what our materials would cost. We have the whole estimate. Kind of like if someone came through and walked through your house on remodel, you'd have that ready to go. So I guess I just wanted to set the table with that. As far as my chairman comments. Do we have? Would any of you like to share something? Would you prefer to go now? Or would you prefer to go at the end of the meeting? Or are you just here for
You
information?
just get it on
Okay,
questions. Yeah.
okay, I just need you, I need you to say who you are, because it can be on the recording,
Yes.
and where you live, so your property in the
Okay.
district.
Okay. My name's Tiana Clausen. I live on Flintlock, backed up to the property. They don't like me. From what I hear. I was told when we moved in 11 years ago that we were allowed to mow back up to, we were told by a city person. Dan, I think, that's the right name.
That's Dan.
I never said you could. I'm Dave.
Well, we were told maybe it wasn't Dan, by somebody who came when we moved in. You're allowed to mow this property, you can play on it, you can do whatever you want, as long as nothing permanent gets put on it. Okay, so since then, we mow up to that wood line and we let our kids play on it. And nothing permanent's been put on. So I guess we're more wondering, first of all, why you guys are mad at us, because no one ever has come to the door since then to say anything about the mowing, ever. And number two, if we are putting up a fence, I heard that it was gonna have barbed wire around it. What is that? How does that affect the safety of wildlife and people? I mean, if you've got kids around or whatever, like you can do as much as you can do. And so that, and then also, what are the requirements for the fencing with the space around the water tower? Does it have to, would that fence have to go around the entire perimeter of the space? Or is it just a dedicated like area around the water tower that would require fencing based on Homeland Security's requirements?
Well, I'm gonna turn,
That part of me.
yeah, I'm gonna turn that over to Dan.
To do the testing, we're gonna be drilling wells. Holes in the ground. That means there's gonna be construction and all that. So, yes, the property would be fenced off. There is no setbacks on the property. There's no easements as far as setbacks. The whole intent would be that the fence would be approximately 10 foot on this side of the property line so that we can go on the outside and mow it.
When you say this side, you mean ours, like here's the property
10
line
10 feet from the property line on all
on
sides.
our side.
Yeah.
So we could get around and maintain the fit, yeah.
Mhm.
Not on yours, on ours, our 10 foot.
Okay, and then what about the barbed wire? Is that a requirement? Is that something you guys are planning? Is that like,
It is a requirement. Number one, it's 6 foot tall. The fence is 6 foot.
okay? So the barbed wire is required, is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
By
We're getting a price for whether it's got barbed wire, whether it doesn't have barbed wire. And if I can go that route with the Homeland Security.
Okay, Mike Etzkorn, 6122 Footlock Drive. Department of Homeland Security has not issued any sort of requirement for the type of fence or the height of the fence. The only requirement for the Department of Homeland Security is that the water tower be secured from climbing and access to the water itself.
Probably
It does-
the shed, the water
Yeah,
shed.
the
where
property-
And it does not require a specific safe zone. Those requirements are not in place. You could technically hire somebody to sit there as an armed guard. And that would be considered legal according to the Department of Homeland Security requirements. So, I too question, I know that it needs to be secured. I get that. I question the amount of space that you actually need. I mean, you have the chip plant being built right there off of 50 West. There's no barbed wire there. You know, you have families, you have children, you have wildlife. I question the barbed wire need. But I understand the need for the security purpose. I just question the means.
The what?
The means,
Explain.
I think what he's saying is, I understand you needed some type of fence to secure the water from being tampered with
and the drilling and.
and all that,
Correct.
safety for
Correct.
everybody. You're questioning the type of fence and whether it's barbed wire on the top
That is
or if
correct.
that's necessary.
Yeah, I think all of us are here because we're concerned about property values. I think having a really nice green space behind your property adds value.
It's not a park.
I understand that, but how many other green spaces are owned by the town of Battleground?
This is not owned by the town of
It's not owned by the town.
Okay, how many are owned by the Water Conservatory?
two sets of properties.
Are both of them being fenced?
This one's the first one that we're having problems with, trespassing, trash. Digging holes, throwing stuff out there.
How many liability claims have you had against the water conservatory over all the years that it has been unfenced?
I don't know. But it's not a park. If you get injured on there,
And I think knowing how many liability claims would indicate whether or not have been any injuries.
but we're gonna be drilling out there and
And that's why I agree,
it's gonna have.
That
multiple
area-
holes all over,
and that part needs to be secured.
which is gonna be the biggest percent of the property.
My question is, the means through which we're going to secure it. Do we have to have barbed wire? Does it necessarily have to be a chain linked fence? You know, those are, I think, things that we need to look at because
Well,
it
if
is,
you look at the other water companies around,
I'm not at any other water company meetings. I'm at this one, and this is the one that concerns me.
yeah,
What do the other company, do they mostly have a chain link fence?
yes, they do.
With-
They have barbed wire on top.
And do they
Is it
have?
that-
It's cost effective.
Up to people's backyards, I guess, all of those water towers with it, cause if there was, you know, let's say you decided to put a fence around the perimeter of the city property, okay. Without barbed wire, and then on the inside, if you really felt the desire to put one up with barbed wire around the water tower itself, that alone seems more logical than. Creating all of these homes having to stare at barbed wire in their backyard after they're used to all of these deer and wildlife living in the forest right there. Like, we've watched this mom deer for at least 8 years, and she has twins or triplets every year. Like, what are we doing? Like, she lives in there.
And Lafayette City does not have a fence around their water tower.
Yes, they do.
They have a fire training center right there that anybody can walk up to that tower and touch it.
Right, they have multiple towers.
That's the only tower. Their tower on 52 has a fence around it. Their well field has a fence around it. The reservoir has a fence around it.
And like I said, I'm not questioning the need for a fence. I'm not questioning the need for some sort of security.
That's what I said. We're getting a price for the barbed wire. It's all getting itemized.
Okay,
So there's a chance the fence would be without barbed wire.
Yes, there is.
I agree that
If we could,
even though the aesthetics is not the greatest with a chain link fence. For longevity and cost effectiveness, that is our best route
It is.
for the concerns. Is there? What?
No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, so just for the cost wise, we have to think of costs of all these other projects that are going on. So I somewhat agree. I don't know if the barbed wire or not, I don't really care, but the chain link part is going to happen.
So. Follow up to that. Number one, how much of those trees will be removed? Because we were informed that all of them were going.
Who informs you?
Somebody on the water board.
I don't think so.
He's not on the board.
On the town, board, whatever board he's on.
Well.
He's on the town council.
You saw him and you said your neighbor's really pissing me off, and that's me. So I'm here, let's talk about it, because no one has ever come to my door, no one has said a word about us right there.
I have. I've talked to your husband.
Since when? Is it the right husband? Because.
I talked to him
Sorry.
when he first put the underground invincible fence, and I told him where the property line was.
Yes, and we don't use it, right? That came out, and that was when you said, that was the same
No.
time you said you're allowed to mow back here, Matt mows back here, these other people mow back
No.
here. Because when we talk about tick season and kids, and you guys wait like a month and a half, and it's up to my kids' waist, and then we have ticks all up in the yard. We're not, like, we mow it, and then it eliminates that tick situation,
No.
sure helps.
well, it would help make a barrier.
And so it's like we were able to, you know, so I
I
guess-
haven't had any ticks up there.
do you live there?
I walk through the woods there.
Because we do get ticks in our yard frequently, like when the grass is long. So what do? We
Chiggers.
mow around it so we can have a little barricade, like, a little breathing room. And so, I mean, you can deny it all you want, it's fine, but I guess at the end of the day, I really just wanna know.
The end of the day was, I never told your husband that you could use any part of the property or mow it or play out
I
there.
respectfully disagree because I was literally there. You just said nothing permanent. You said all these
No.
people mow around here and no one has said anything since it's been 11 years.
No,
Oh, is your age getting to you? Because I'm so sorry, that was not nice, but like, I was there, I remember it,
and
we've done
you
it,
cannot
then
hear it from me.
it must have been somebody else, because whoever from the city came when we moved in was completely okay with it, and nobody has said a word since, so we've been mowing it, but then I hear through the grapevine that everyone's all pissed off at us, even though everybody in that little circle, they all mow up to the tree line, because it helps with ticks and bugs and all the things.
No, they don't.
Yes,
Well,
they
we
do.
got, okay.
You got two people.
Dan. I think. We are trying to establish. That there will be a fence, sounds like maintenance of the mowing is needed. And. As part of the fencing need, like I say, Dan can talk about how much, if any, of the trees will be removed. As part of the fencing need. As part of the fencing. Like Dave brought up, there is a cost consideration. I mean, if aesthetics is a concern. What is the acceptable price? That the Conservancy would pay for an aesthetically acceptable fence?
With the fencing and the welfares, Keith Milner previously of 6122 Finlock Drive. Is there really a need to fence that entire perimeter? Because right now there's one building which is fenced. One
is your
water
well
tower
house.
which could be fenced just around the water tower. So what are the plans with regards to Wellfield? Is that definitely occurring, or are there gonna be some test holes?
There,
This could be temporarily fenced and then refilled in, and then you fence around whatever wells and then protect them. So is there a need to clear a 10-foot perimeter around the entirety of the land, fence the entirety of the land, or do cost control and just fence the one water tower?
well,
On top of that, if 1 acre or more is disturbed, the project has to obtain or apply for the Indiana Construction Stormwater General Permit. So has that happened?
We're on the first phase.
I'm just asking.
No,
That's something that would have to be like,
And also, what we're talking about permitting and so on, has there been a risk and resilience assessment done as part of the American Water Infrastructure Act for deciding whether a fence is required?
and has the DNR Fish and Wildlife or whoever been consulted about fencing an area that's regularly used by deer and other wildlife, how that would affect them? What are the laws around that?
yes,
And that's fine. I actually, my son and I live at 6122, only been in Indiana for a year. I obviously detect a certain amount of animosity, perhaps between the workers that have to deal with situations on the property every day, my town. This young lady. So my concern is this entire property being fenced? Because of animosity between the conservatory and some of the residents? So does it all have to be so far close to the houses that you can barely get behind it to mow it? Or can it be pushed further in where it's not quite as obtrusive visually and would not affect property value so much? That's all.
What it sounds like Dan has said, people have been. Putting trash and other things in the area.
I live there and I see no trash.
And my kids, I take them back into the woods and I say, honey, let's get a garbage bag and clean up all the trash that people have left here. That wouldn't be able to happen if it was fenced.
No, so I'm just, my concern is that we may be overbuilding and building something that's not that is visually unappealing out of a sense of us versus them. I don't wanna see that. I don't think that's good for any.
I don't think it's an us versus them thing. I think it is a security thing, and that's what we're looking at. Like I said, this is the beginning of this phase, so we've got to do a lot more research. Because we just, like I said, it's gotta be cleared out so we can get the grant. And then I don't know exactly where all the wells are gonna be drilled.
Sure.
And
Well,
for practical purposes, if we have to fence the whole thing for the drilling, it doesn't make sense to remove fence that's good, just to put up more fence down the road. It'll cost effective.
part of the issue up there on the hill is when that, and this is, I've lived in Battleground for 36+ years up there, and when they got that tower, that was before I was on the board or anything, they just kind of dug a well and put that tower there, and that was that, and that water's really hard. And we have to put a lot of chemicals in to treat it. So what you do, like what we've done at the other fields, is you drill these test holes and you see where the water is better.
That's good.
And we don't know where that's gonna be, but it will be more cost effective to have better water that you don't have to treat as much. And for the customers, you won't have as much hard water and much sediment and this, that, and the other. So you don't know where that's gonna be until they do they look at what topography, would that be the correct term? To see where they think it's gonna be. There's company, that's all they do. They come in, they do these core samples and come back and say, here's what the soil's showing, here's where the water is.
And I appreciate that foresight.
Yeah, I mean, that's
The
what.
water up there really is. It's horrible.
It's not as, the people who draw from wells 1 and 2,
Is better.
oh my gosh, they really don't have any issues. It's up on the hill.
And we pump as much from 1 and 2 up the hill as we can.
Sure.
We do.
So you said this is phase 1. Can you give us kind of a picture of what our timeline is looking here?
I personally can't, Dan may be able to. We need to kind of move on with some other stuff. What I would like to do is let us get the estimates, let us get some research done. And maybe we set a time to meet with you.
That'd be fantastic.
And then say, here's what we thought, and kind of work together, because you are our customers. We want to be a good neighbor up there. We don't want to have, it is the property, it is owned. I don't know where they're gonna say the best wells are. That's really expensive anyway to do those core samples. Fencing is expensive too. So,
And it might be worthwhile to have a conversation also with that drilling company and see where they think they might be doing the drilling before we make any decisions on the placement of the fence.
I think the biggest thing is we need to kind of get that perimeter, the boundary lines cleared off so we can apply for the grant. Okay, back to your question on the trees. As I look at this rectangle up here, are we going through the trees? Would there be,
No,
where are you?
we cleared trees for the tower.
And part of that had to be because the equipment to get the tower, you had to have a wide berth to get through there.
And we'll be clearing trees for the test wells too. Cause they'll be plugging in 4 to 6 holes. There's 1 hole in there right now. That would have to have a fence. If we don't put up.
So-
Is there already been determined where these wells are gonna be drilled, or is that?
No,
No,
thought out?
they actually come in. And we're in the Tage River. Underground river. What they do is they look at set. We don't put anything close to the fence. So there'll be or property lines, excuse me. But they'll be plucking 4 to 6 holes. Cause one, they'll pump it. They'll get samples, they'll be tested for water quality, but it's gotta be pumped so it can be, that there's adequate supply. And they'll be doing that 4 to 6 holes. Typically. This one, where the well is right now, they drilled 1.
That was
So I know
before all of our
water
time.
Yeah.
It was not tested like they're supposed to do.
So these would just be test holes to determine for quote a new well, you're not gonna put up a new tower or anything.
No.
No.
No, no, no.
Well, your wells 1 and 2 were done in the 60s. And I don't know when the one up there was,
70s,
Probably
80s, 70 early 80s.
So
yeah. So, I mean, you're looking at, there is gonna be a need for a new well because your other ones you've been pumping another one.
And you're right, the water, I mean,
So-
I have a whole house filter system
I
that
do
should
too.
last a year. That I have to change about every 3 months for about $120 a pop.
We change ours every 3 weeks.
When would the next discussion meeting, or would you just do a special meeting for discussion purposes, or do you know?
I do not know, but I think it'd be productive probably. And that'd be up to,
as soon as we get prices.
yeah, I
Remember
mean,
one thing, it's a grant.
I get that.
Has the grant already been awarded?
No,
No.
yeah,
No,
clear,
you have to-
clear all that.
you have to-
We can apply it.
I know, but when you say clear it all out, what exactly is the definition of that?
What are the stipulations
Nothing
around
is
clearing?
clear. Everybody takes that clearing as clearing all the property. No. It's clearing a small strip around the property line, which we gotta do part of it anyways. Because it's hanging over fences and causing problems.
and it's on our side of it's on our property that we're clearing. Correct? Not
So
on
what
any
you're
county-
saying, we're not taking out all the trees, we're only taking out trees to place where the fence would be.
Where the fence.
Well, just
Approximately
enough
10
to get
feet.
equipment through there, put posts in the ground.
Get
and
equipment
measure
through
work, whatever.
10.
So you're not taking all the trees out to the top of the property lines.
Okay, next question. Is it a guarantee that you would receive this grant even after?
No.
No, it's never a
Okay,
guarantee.
so you could potentially clear 10 feet of trees across the
We're not-
entire
Whoa,
line
whoa,
and then
whoa,
not
whoa, whoa.
receive the grant?
Back up. Phase 1's getting a price. Includes clearing for the fence. The 10 foot. So that's a price. That's what I have to have in order to apply for the grant. That don't guarantee we get the grant.
If we don't get the grant, we don't clear the trees.
They
The
have to
only
get
place
pricing on
we're
the
going to
clearing.
clear will be.
Okay.
Where it's hanging over people's fences.
That's just
And that's just
regular
a
maintenance.
maintenance thing.
Yeah,
That's regular maintenance of the
that's-
property.
okay.
So last year, I worked for the town also.
I see you.
Um. Last year, me and my worker, we joined them up in Johnny Ridge,
Musket Way.
Musket Way.
In the lot.
These people, I mean, their fence was literally being beat to death. And we went across and we clear cut, and we gave them like, I think it's like 7 feet. And we cut it all back and we hauled it all out for them. Just,
That's.
'Cause that was the right thing to do.
Understand, like, yeah, I get that.
and
That seems great.
if we do 2 foot, we're gonna do it again next year.
Great.
So if we do 6, 7, 8 foot, that's gonna buy us, a couple, 2, 3 years.
We can run a mower through there, bush hog.
So you're putting a fence in, you're clearing trees to put in a fence and leaving enough room between the fence and the remaining woods to mow.
The
That's the
remaining, the
plan.
fence and the
That's
property.
That would be the plan.
Correct,
Yeah,
The ultimate plan, if we get the grant.
if you get the grant. Okay.
I guess
So
my
basically,
question
the
is,
vast majority of the woods is gonna stay.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
so I guess this would probably be a question for a different day because you don't have all that figured out yet, but I guess considering the wildlife being in those fences, especially if they're barbed wire, and then considering cost wise, is it cheaper to assess where those holes need to be and then fencing around that area specifically? Or fencing that entire thing? And like, which would be more cost effective, I guess, or.
it depends on where those holes were. I would
Right,
guess.
that's what I, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
you don't know where the holes are gonna be because that's
Yeah.
the company's gonna.
Right.
Saying though, instead of planting.
And they're not gonna come in and tell you where they're gonna drill till they get here to do.
Yeah, until they do their testing. But, so. And I do this on the town side also. if there's a grant. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna go after a grant. If it's free money. You bet.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, the residents, hey, your bill is not gonna go up. Because I saved $50,000 or whatever the cost is. I'm gonna go after it every single time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're doing here. It's free money.
If we.
Someone's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Why not battleground?
I don't disagree with that.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this part. But there's 6 of you here. Make sure, when you leave that we have your names, and it'd be really helpful if we had your emails. Because then when we have information, I can have Georgia send you out a group email and say, here, look at these couple dates. Let's get together and discuss. Are you guys together at the same residence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
so we don't need to-
And
But I do appreciate you being here, and I think communication is the way to go.
All right, thank you very much for listening.
I would emphasize that if you have questions, to ask the Conservancy directly, because a lot of people
Might know or might not know.
put things on social media that they said they heard, or a lot of the times will complain about water or note about water quality differences and only talk about it on social media or whatever. We can't and don't monitor social media, so if you have.
So since we're as a board, we cannot individually get on and make comments about the water quality or this project or that project.
So,
Is it possible for somebody to print all of that off and have it all and present it to you? Like if somebody were to see all of the social media things. And so.
I would shy away from that. I'd like to stay with.
well,
the
I
facts.
think it's better to have the person that's having the problem
I mean,
Call in.
communicate with us
Because we need
directly.
to go to them and see what's wrong with their indoor plumbing, with the service line, what is going on at the time, if there's construction. It's just, yeah, if someone has an issue, they need to contact the office.
yes,
So
we have
solve
hard
it.
water issues, we know that. But we
And
can't
it's
correct your
drilling and getting a
issue
new well
if
up
you don't
there.
contact. And a lot of times when Dan gets up there and finds the problem,
It's
majority of the time is like the water softener hasn't been, or the water heater's not been flushed. So there's something inside,
Yeah.
I live in,
In their service line.
yeah, I live just south of 600 there. And I've never had water problems. But
But
all my
some-
neighbors do.
So
So-
it is sometimes to the construction of the home and how the water line was set and how it's all been plumbed.
Let's say if you have a problem or a question, contact the Conservancy directly.
And these meetings every third Wednesday, they are
Third
open to the
Wednesday,
public.
yeah. But,
You can
okay,
watch us on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you all very much.
well, thank you, and,
I appreciate you coming myself, because for the longest time, I was the only one. Conservancy or town council
that
meeting.
came and did. Like I said, don't be
True
thinking that
story.
you're gonna hear from us in a week. or two. This is a journey here. This is a process. So, but I can.
And we may have an update for us in next month's meeting, we don't know that.
We don't know. So, but I can tell you that as soon as we get something, I will reach out to you and we will sit down again.
All right, thank you.
And my name's Carol Watson, and you can, Georgia can give you my cell if you need to get hold of me.
So we're, like I said, she's gonna end that part, but you're welcome to stay for the rest of it, or you're welcome to go.
Yeah.
The rest of the boring is,
Well, yeah, come on, man.
Okay,
No, no.
so there was the chairman comments, so.
Are there any other items on the agenda that affect the Shawnee Ridge neighborhood?
Not really, other than,
No.
I don't know what. the
Unless there's some
customer
service reports in there.
report in there.
Service reports, yeah.
Wait. Business forcefully.
They don't, they just say.
Thank you. Use either door.
Yeah.
Whichever
you can
door.
use it on there.
Send her out the closest one.
No,
Thank you.
That's a
Thank
hard
you.
door to open though. Hey, thank you so much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening.
Thank you.
We're gonna get out now.
Okay, so back to chairman comments, that's taken care of. All right, customer service, Joe, take it.
All right. There were 12 customer service reports for the month of July 2026. 8 were. 8 were billing / usage / tampering. All kind of related. 3 were in the historic district, two were in the River Bluffs / Yellowknife district. Two, had no address, so no district associated with them. And one north of County Road 600 North District. There were 3 water quality / color reports, 2 south of County Road 600 North and 1 in the Historic District. And there's 1 turn-on request in the Historic District. As of August 18th, 2026, all reports were closed.
I will
On
tell you,
request, I think the turn-on request was our
It was like a renter.
flex,
Yeah.
flex on
Mhm.
Main Street that had been vacant for a long time.
right,
And they actually had control of their meter, of that main valve, but they didn't remember that.
yeah.
Hmm.
Actually, this is a better report because we didn't really have any quality issues.
Yeah, we had
north
2.
of 600.
Yeah, that was this is it's yeah.
The
I
ones
can't
we're
tell you-
getting are because of Quick Trip sucking a lot of.
I can tell you, I did speak with one lady who lives in Hill Ridge. And she was having some issues. She doesn't have a water filter though, or a softener.
Mm.
And there were twice, when I just went to turn on our drinking water. That, I mean, it was faint, and within about 15 seconds, it was clear. But it was those 2 days that she was having a lot. And when I checked with Dan, it was Quick Trip was filling tanks and doing stuff. So I think a lot of that,
Because they have a
Hold on.
huge meter, don't they?
yes,
Yes.
yes. But I
So
think
they
it's,
put in 15 tanks.
okay, well, that's probably why we were having, we
They-
probably
they-
could have been much worse than what it was. with
Right,
that
so they have to
quantity
put tanks
going
in, they
through.
fill them with water and then
So
they
they
gotta,
don't float up.
yeah, so they don't float out while they're, and they'll pump that water out and then they'll put fuel in there.
Right, yeah.
So,
So
I mean, they
that's
used a
why.
lot of water there for
That's
that.
like several thousand gallon
Yes.
tanks, aren't they?
And I don't think they fill them completely with water, but they have to put
Just
enough water.
enough to, yeah,
Keep it down.
Well,
yeah.
Now they've got a meter up at Quick Trip and we are billing for all that
Yes.
and that's all going through fine. Have you seen those bills?
We haven't billed monthly, we'll bill them when they get done.
On these tanks that they're filling. We're talking about, there was some discoloration last month on the customer service, but it was like Quill Ridge. And we think it was tied to that high volume
it's
of
like-
filling those tanks.
Well, they came in here and did cement. Start, no, the actual cement powder.
Oh.
Uh,
Well, they spray it on the,
They injected in the ground
Mhm.
with water and all to stabilize the ground.
Like,
Pneumatic. or
All
dry.
I'm saying is that meter's registering all that water going through, right?
That's a good meter. That's a good meter. It's the big one.
That's
They
what
had
I-
a meter and we called them up there when they were trying to skid out. Wow.
Okay,
Yeah, those people got caught.
okay, all right.
Yeah, a lot of the billing and usage questions were people filling pools.
Okay, well,
I mean, but we were in the
that's
the sprinkling credit.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you know.
In June.
How many gallons were used?
A lot.
38,239.
That's still in the tanks.
Well, that would
That
cause
was-
some discoloration of,
That's a lot of.
like I said, we were lucky not to have much discoloration.
And I think Tim asked us, you guys, that we've got the capability, but we've got plenty of water resource to do that. I mean, they're not doing that every day, right?
no,
no.
that's the one done, no done. Yeah.
Construction, yeah.
It's a
yeah.
matter of like, say, tower, pump and,
Just a matter, yeah, sure.
But that,
800 gallons of the one out here with 600.
Okay.
and that is why we just put 3 new pumps in that booster building, but that is why we need to be looking up there for, you know, an additional new
Yeah.
well.
Right.
I mean, we're trying to
balance.
balance that out,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
All right, any other question on Joe's report?
Nope, that was a good report.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you,
okay.
Joe. All right, superintendent report.
Man, I know I sent it out late and I really did this real quick this morning. Which are normal, is we're always working on chemical equipment, trying to make them so that we're not overdoing the chemical, wasting money, trying to make it best we can economically and keeping a steady amount instead of ups and downs on our chemical dosing. Still busy like crazy on the lead copper rule. There are tons of webinars going on this 120, just taking care of the lead copper. Because 2027 is the very key of where you have to do a lot of sampling. It's the next phase in this if you don't get your stuff done. So the goal is to get everything done before we hit the 2027 mark.
And how, you think that's still feasible?
Yeah,
Are we on the people's schedule to dig those potholes and to do all that, or?
that's us.
He's doing.
Oh, it is us. Have you put us on your schedule?
When you can.
When I can, I just found, Georgia found off this last meter, I'm guessing 15 to 20 houses that had weird reasons, but we knocked off several. And well, I was at the state fair and then went down to graduation. I had them go out and meter read those because we read them on the 14th and they read them yesterday. So we were out and we changed 5 meters.
I need to know which ones to estimate. I don't have anything back there.
Okay. We changed out 5 so far. Now comes the hard part is they're inside.
Houses.
And getting
inside
hold of the
houses.
people to,
Yeah.
And this comes back to last month. Adam, were you here last month? Well, you got a close neighbor that's not willing to call back on the second notice. Which I'm gonna pose again, throw out there, do I shut them off to get their daggone attention?
well, I think you do what is reasonable to get their attention, and if that doesn't get their attention, then I think,
Can you put a notice on the door? You need to contact us, or on this
I
date,
tagged it,
your water is gonna be turned off.
does it say that? You're,
not that the water's gonna be.
I would put a notice on there and give them a week and say in a week, if we need to change your meter and on this date, if we've not had any contact with you, we're turning your water off until we get the meter situated.
highlighted
Replaced.
or in red.
That's all you can do.
Is there, do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I mean.
I mean, we're trying to make everything reasonable so we can get in and do the quick repair.
well, there's-
Will this be our third?
Yeah.
then?
Huh?
Will this be our third thing?
If I could go out there and tag them again, yeah.
I would say we need to create a trail of effort. And
We have that.
we
Yeah.
can use the
Mhm.
service orders to do that. If you will call us, we can do a service order for every visit to the house to tag, just like we do for delinquent. We'll do a service order. We had to tag for no contact. So that when
Shut up.
when
They
they
call.
come back upset that their
Is it
water
gonna
is
be-
off,
Or-
I will have something in the file.
Saying, we've been there 3 times.
But is
And-
that gonna make phoniest stuff like you do the customer service?
No, that would be on a separate.
Well, no, that is a customer service report when they come and say, hey, my water's turned off. But it's because of.
But it's not a customer service report to put the notice on the.
Right.
No,
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
No, that would not be.
No,
That's not gonna inflate your numbers, is what,
No.
Dan doesn't wanna.
No, I think it should be part of the customer service report, but
It has
it's,
to be logged or it didn't happen.
right.
Yeah.
And I think,
It has to be in writing somewhere that we
Okay.
went to.
Well, I think the
house
service report-
twice or 3
I do
times.
too.
so there's 2 pieces here. There's you creating the service order to create the
Picture.
accountability trail saying we've contacted you X number of times. If it creates a customer service call that goes on my report, that's fine,
Well,
because
that's, yeah,
that's
I didn't
fine,
want
they're separate
to
issues.
write work orders to inflate.
No, no,
numbers,
An issue.
make it
but you're not,
It's all,
explaining it.
it's all the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, I mean, I think, yeah,
To track that, Dan, because that takes time for you to do that. And the more that we substantiate how many minutes or hours or whatever you have to spend doing this for people, that's good. That's good for us to track how many times you have to stop what you're doing. And
Just gotta figure, to do a tag, it's probably minimum half an hour.
50 minutes, half an hour, whatever
Take
it
the birds
is.
out.
Take quite a few,
Well, I'm just saying, I mean,
you know, typically.
But I think.
for just to do one house, we're talking 15, 20
The
minutes.
ones that he needs to change out meters, you're not talking about people that are delinquent. He didn't have to turn all that in every time. Cause you get that.
I think you do all that.
I don't.
We should.
I think
We are.
delinquent, I think every time maybe Dan puts in a notice. For the service order, just so we have a record, that's not a bad
It's
thing
not
to do.
bad.
You gotta cover it.
So if our,
I mean, it
our
doesn't-
customer service things go from 8 to 15, there's still justification why they jump.
But I don't look at service orders, Dan, I look
Yeah.
at custom, I look at the call logs,
He looks,
I care about the call logs.
Okay, so it's a separate,
All service order might tell me is like, oh, Dan, did the customer service report get closed? That's what the service orders tell me. I care about, people calling in.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. In terms,
Okay.
that's the primary thing I care about. And if you create a customer service report because someone says, hey, my water's off. Well, it's like, well, because Dan tried to get a hold
oh,
of you.
I think the response will be less timid and more abrupt than that.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be fiery, but no, I mean,
All right, well, I'm gonna let you guys work that out.
Yeah, I
Like, Dan, could you just give her a list of who you've had? But on these meter replacement, you need to say, hey, I went this date, this how many times I went, so she can get caught up on that before we shut anybody off. Yeah, third time, I think.
well, I think that this time is, it's a threat, it's a.
I mean, if you wanna give me their phone numbers, I can call them in the evening after hours.
time stamp.
I don't
Where are they
mind.
located? Are they? Up the hill or just across the way?
I mean,
I don't go that far.
Go around the circle once in a while.
I don't mind calling people after hours. I mean, I don't expect you to, but I could. And say, hey, did you see the tag we left? Because here's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, cause if we
I mean, I had
can't
to
get
call
this fixed,
people-
we're gonna have to turn it off because we can't.
When we updated the district plan, I had to call people off hours for.
Cause this is a malfunctioning meter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're having
transformers
that.
went out.
Yeah, I mean,
it just needs to
And
be
it
replaced.
happens to be the time that meter needs to be changed. Anyway.
yeah, I mean, it's causing a faulty reading.
No, it's a,
I'll tell you what gets people's attention, and I mentioned this the last time, but if you just estimate as high as their bill ever was, do an estimated reading and send them a bill, I'll guarantee them.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Take the historic.
hey,
high.
that's the only numbers we gotta go by, so,
We can do.
And we'll give
because
you-
your reader's not working, you won't
Yeah.
let us in.
All right, so
'Cause I made.
thank you, Dan, for your superintendent report. Financial.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to.
We're trying to move
I'll
on.
do real fast.
Yeah,
They don't have that. Here's the thing.
We had 5 meters that wouldn't read, we got them. Part that have been replaced. IDM's list of repairs from that survey. That have all been completed.
good.
Oh, well, protection.
I'm working on the 5-year review of the wellhead protection plan for IDM. They wanted a few more things than normal new people.
Is that just to let them know where we stand within our 5-year, within what we've done
You
last
gotta
year?
do it every 5 years.
Okay, this is what we've done, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Okay.
You just gotta keep the water safe.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that you can't.
Make sure the wellheads.
Yeah.
With the several tax in 12 states on water systems,
Get your SCADA working.
there have been several required cybersecurity webinars that I had to do. Quit laughing.
And I appreciate you
know,
staying on top of all
yeah,
that.
it's-
And I
yeah.
gave you just so you see it. Cause I tell Ron, I gave you a 811 end of day call that had 45 requests on it.
And that came out one time?
That's one day.
Jeez, that's a long day.
Now, I got to write off quite a bit, but that takes quite a bit of my time. But each one has to be done individually.
And I think we all know how important it is to do it right.
They
Yeah.
charge us if we don't do it in a
Yeah.
2-day frame.
Now I had that many vacancies.
Yeah, how do we have that many?
Oh, I didn't.
No, if somebody's planting a tree, they call.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
If somebody's tilling the garden, they
That's
call, if somebody's planting flower, we've had people call for flower.
How deep do they dig their flowers?
Well,
It doesn't matter, if you're disturbing the ground,
Look at the ads on TV.
if you're disturbing the ground, you have to,
Yeah.
you call in.
They put it out there like that.
I'm not going down deep enough to bother anything.
You don't know.
I'll go slow enough.
Cable may only be 3-4 inches below ground. Like cable.
Oh, we get a lot of 10-foot. Who is
A lot of
doing
people don't.
landscaping that's 10 foot down?
Nobody. Right, not even a tree would you go down that?
Big tree. Well, not even 10 feet when I
That's
say.
10 feet,
Not
that's-
even 10 feet.
Okay, so that's our draft for our budget.
We,
Budget.
Dan and Trent and I, Georgia sat in on one of the sessions. I think we've accounted for stuff.
DNU means do not use.
Hmm.
So there'll be some of those lines, they have zeros in the draft. And DNU means do not use, so when we go to the new software, we're not even gonna have that.
Oh, it's
That
like a
category.
different.
That category's
different
gone.
categories.
Some of it was like, okay, instead of saying attorney fees. Like if you're looking at 601-001-311, it is now professional services, because if you have accounting or if we had to have someone come in, it's just, we're trying to combine some of it so it makes a little bit more sense. Some of the categories we just tried to streamline, some of it we broke it out more because he wanted subcategories. So we knew exactly like chemicals and then the chemical equipment, like the tubes and all that, so you could actually track how much is going into all that. So we tried to make it a little bit more.
Kind of money you want. I see what you're doing.
No, I was trying to track our costs.
No, the shoving everything in professional services.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like one big pile.
Cost wise. So. It's nice to know what you spent the year before. But that way there's a big chunk.
Yeah.
They do let me know on the chemical when it's being proposed that there's gonna be an increase. They have been nice, but the company sold here 2 years ago.
The testing company?
Hmm?
Which company got sold?
Water Solutions,
Which is a testing or?
that's where we buy the 319, the bleach.
Yeah.
Hawkins bought them out because they're a big chemical and, you buy the small one out to control
If they're. Yeah. So what did an internet get rolled into? The
Utility.
Utilities?
Utilities.
Yeah.
Mhm. Also, if you're gonna go up to salaries, part of that increase is Trent is in the process of getting his license.
Yeah.
So when he becomes
Certified.
then he gets
A pay raise.
right. And then what we've done for 2027 is he will go from a assistant water operator to assistant superintendent and go on salary at that time.
And that
So-
239 will cover
Yeah,
that promotion?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
That-
it does.
that salary line. It covers salary, it covers the
A la carte,
stipends,
just the healthcare
The
stipend of
stipends.
$1,000 a month.
because
That's
that's
right.
all ours do. So.
Yeah.
It needs a place that it never had a place, and we always go in the hole. Trying to figure out.
Why? And it was
Yeah.
because that wasn't accounted for.
So now he's
Never
thinking
been
under
a kid.
salaries as a general catch-all compensation.
So how
Okay.
soon is Trent gonna go?
Hmm?
How soon will Trent go for his license?
You sent in the application, didn't you?
We're gonna be filling out the application tomorrow.
And he has that.
So will he get it is before Rob?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cause Rob's still studying.
He's still, wow.
Yeah, he's still got.
He's got third semester.
Or, he's
He just started third.
And he has 4 or just 3?
the trench has got to test out, right?
Yeah.
He's just got to test out
And that will be the distribution license.
water and distribution,
Water and-
chemical
Yeah.
treatment and distribution.
So he can become equivalent to your capabilities. Yeah. Cool.
The goal would be, and I don't have a time frame on this, but the goal would be as he trains and is licensed and is doing and gets moved down here, he's got family, a child to, it's gonna be. But then his dam would be pulling back and maybe going.
Yep.
Projects only.
2-3 days, projects only, whatever. You'd be adjusting those
And Dan
numbers.
cuts the back up. and-
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a transition, because Dan's got years up here in
That's
his
what you want
head,
to
and we're
do.
trying to get it
That's
out
what
in the
we
document.
Wanting
That's what I'm trying to do.
It is, and,
And if we keep Rob long enough, that.
I'm impressed with Trent, I mean, he's, I like him. And he seems sharp,
Well, the other question,
and I've been candid, I said, this is what we're looking for you, out of you. And is this what you're looking, and yes, it is, it's what he
Yes.
wants,
Well,
it's a
the-
career.
I think another piece that is difficult for people in, say, Dan's position is just because you have the technical expertise of the distribution, whatever. It's the administration,
The budgeting, all the.
that is a lot of people
Downfall.
fall down, or at least that's a very difficult.
Hence why we had him.
And
in.
supervision, because now you'll have Rob.
And that is why we had him in doing the budget, and Dan. If Dan was showing him on the computer, this is how, and then we were talking it all through and including him on everything.
Yeah, because I mean, administration is a huge part of.
And how this looks like, and all the testing and all the
Government.
stuff, and also what you're doing on Wellhead, I mean, just the training is intense.
Yeah, it's.
Some of that stuff doesn't come up very often,
Sure. Yeah.
but, yeah, he's excited about it, and he's eager to learn. If he doesn't understand, from what I understand, he asks. So he gets it right.
Good.
That's.
Which is
Very good.
important. So.
That looks good.
Yes.
Do we discuss, so people can look at this, take it home with them, and then do we discuss it next month? When do we have the hearing?
Well,
I have to upload your best guess to Gateway, because the September meeting is your hearing.
Okay.
And after that time, you can reduce any categories, but
But you can't increase.
and what I want you to see was when I did my best work that I could so far for revenue, I came out with an $80,700 shortfall. So you would, at this budget level, you would be dipping into your operating reserve for 80,000 if you spent the full amount. But there's a lot of those that we budget them high,
So we can cut
like
it back.
well and tower maintenance, you never know if you're gonna actually spend 90,000.
Well, we also,
So you have
Put in
enough
some
operating
project
reserve,
money
they're
in
not
this
gonna
too.
deny this budget, but you just need to know that you're not completely funded at the
at the current time,
At this current budget.
revenue level from your rates. We're not.
And how much of, you said what?
it's on the back.
It's on the back.
Turn it over.
$80,699.
Would that cover wood trip coming on?
No, that's where we are right now with our current customer profile.
And what's,
What's gonna happen with Woods Edge, like.
Yeah, Woods Edge will have,
and
Woods Edge is at,
they're having
Right.
20 new homes permitted every other month, so.
There's a lot of concrete going on out there.
and
So you're saying there's gonna be more water sales,
right,
Yeah.
right.
but
How much-
you were conservative on what we have currently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just-
So worst case scenario is what you're telling me,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of unknowns that could improve it.
The only other thing that we, and Bill shot this to me this afternoon, it's like, be sure we don't raise the percentage rate on the property tax. Because your AV is gonna go up, so hold your rate constant, because
Yeah, I
new
wouldn't,
conservancies
I would
are
not.
not allowed to raise more than 10%.
yeah, I
Yeah.
would not.
And I told him I didn't think that was a problem because we had wanted to do that. For, you know.
Yeah, cause we set our property taxes fairly well 2 years ago.
So. Any day we should be getting, and it might be there right now, I just didn't have today to look at it, but the net assessed value ought to be there. For the county, and I always have to ask Jennifer to give us ours because. It's
Yeah,
it's
you
not
do.
net, so we can do
We
ours,
do.
and I can tell you how much we'll raise.
And we are not as affected as, say, West Lafayette and Lafayette because of the.
They're affected by
the-
property tax.
Because
This
of,
is
no,
better.
because of how the assessor assesses rental properties. Got changed,
Oh,
that affected West Lafayette and Lafayette more than us, because we don't have.
what they got was like cash back, and what goes on yours. Is gross assessed value.
Right.
So the net.
They had to, the assessed values. They had the assessor could choose certain values for rentals that got. The lesser of them, as I understand it, is what they have to go with now, which is what I think the Lafayette County, but it doesn't matter. We don't have that many rentals.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have very many rentals
Yeah.
as a,
What's the shooting date for Quick Trip? Up and running by the end of the year?
It will be done, the last time I talked to them, they're shooting for the middle of December. And
So,
then,
first of the year.
So we should have a full year next year of,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
so, and then the big weeks come in. And they want 3 weeks.
to look it over and make sure it's right.
Well, they'll test all the equipment and then they'll do all the training.
So beginning of the year.
So
We
beginning
get
of
to
the year
be
would be,
suckers.
we'll have 12 months worth of
Pretty
that.
much
Okay.
12 months.
But you can't estimate that because we don't have a clue. We don't have
Right.
any
What they're gonna
historical.
We did pick up one restaurant right now, and that's Arby's.
Yeah. So that's a good.
That we didn't have, so we have picked up one.
Well,
That's
and
true.
see, in 28, you'll get their property tax also because Quick Trips is a member of the district, so.
Yeah.
Their AV will go.
Well, but how does tip affect us?
As,
It won't touch us.
I don't think it does.
We're separate.
Cause that's cause does all tax revenue. Go
But are-
TIF,
I'll
or
have to
because
ask.
we're kind of outside of that, or,
Because it's not, it's on top of that rate, it's not in the rate. So everything that's in the $1.93 rate gets split out, but we're on. top.
since we're. Off to the side,
When are you thinking we're gonna have a new 12-inch line up there?
well, that depends on
Maybe
town
8 inch.
phase 3, right?
And I'm working on getting the price to go under
Okay, okay,
43,
okay.
because we can always,
Yeah.
Isn't that part of
Do-
phase 3, Ron?
huh?
The town's phase 3,
Towns phase 3 is, yes.
and would.
I'm just thinking
we-
about getting water up there to anybody.
But I think. Are they looking to go under or through?
Where?
Under.
Cause they're,
I think we're gonna go under by the state police post. And then it goes down,
For sewer,
yes, and it goes down. So we're pulling Woods Edge Force Main out of the woods. And putting it on the road, or off the road.
but we wouldn't necessarily follow that same.
no,
Yeah.
can't put water in.
Well, I mean, just in terms of, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Mhm.
their post is a problem though, coming down there, and they better be looking at it, cause the water main's already down that side.
Right.
And if we run another pipe, we're just gonna run it parallel with our current pipe down there.
parallel
I
to
think
the Woods Edge
the
pipe.
sewer's gonna go
No,
under,
our water
if
pipe.
I'm not mistaken.
On the north side of
It
600.
says if we have to run another one, we'll just let it.
And we're on the south.
North side.
Keep the one we got, just let it do it.
And
The one
come
that-
down
I don't-
toward
That we're
the,
currently.
they wanna be able to loop in those.
Okay, so south of 600, it's
Where
running
we-
parallel
where
to
we
that,
have-
and then that's the one that
Yeah.
connects into Starbucks. All the back
It
there.
goes up,
Took care of.
Yes,
state.
Last week when I did an inspection at Quick Trip, they did go ahead and make the decision to remove the shaft.
oh,
Really?
Couldn't believe that.
No showers.
I thought they'd leave them in at least for the wrecked RV. They have a.
So does
So
the
none?
Loves or whatever on 25 or whatever, do they have showers?
Nope,
Loves always have shower.
Yeah.
Not that one
Love's
does
does.
not.
That one does not, really?
nope, that does not.
So what about the one north of here? Where?
The one north of it does, but this,
The one north of us, whatever it is by,
the one at the 200, 211, somewhere up there, there's a level.
Oh,
that the Loves or Pilot or.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love's down south has them.
Okay. But that one, there's two different types. The one that on at 25 is not,
A full.
Big enough.
it's not big enough.
It's a mini.
Yeah, okay. So they have the mini and you have your regular Loves. So we're all regular.
We gotta
Loves.
have a lot of water being sold.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Here.
go ahead and look at these. If you have any questions, reach out to Dan or myself. We'll get some answers. And yes, go ahead and Dan, are we ready to advertise this?
What's
Well,
the,
you asked if
what's
you
our
accept-
reserve, Georgia? What's our rough reserve? Between the,
It's probably in
State
here when
funding.
when we have.
Oh, yeah, it's up
Yeah,
there.
it'll,
Yeah, yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be coming up.
I'm just trying to think what the 80,000 is.
497,000.
Okay.
increase.
So it is a good fraction of it, but
Someone
not,
took some money out of it.
someone had some projects.
There's projects. Okay, so, but again, if you look over that, if you have any questions, Dan would probably be the best, but you can if you can't get hold of him, get hold of me and I will get answers to you. But we did, really look at what that was, what is coming up in projects. And I felt like it was
It looks, I
Pretty
mean,
solid.
Valerie's always the bigger one.
and we did 2 to 3%. I mean,
That's-
we
yeah.
didn't go hog wild.
The stuff you can't predict is materials.
And well, he did his best.
I mean, because you
On
don't
what?
know, I mean, that's.
Yeah.
The
It's
variant.
going up, but I can't tell you how much.
He just did his best.
What was how much did you increase your materials? Budgeting?
We didn't necessarily do it by a
It's right there.
percentage.
It's
It,
never
Oh.
been separated.
Yeah.
I was just looking at, so.
we just went dollar wise what he thought. Dan, do you have anything else on your report?
10% is pretty good.
Okay. All right,
All right.
financial clerk.
Going to spend the money. we
Money,
got-
money, money.
yeah. And registers, you've got.
You do to the truck, Dan?
Yeah, that's what I got a question.
That's a big maintenance.
$2,200 for an oil change?
That's the most expensive oil change.
It's more than an oil change, but.
Supposed to read the detail that I sent you last week.
Okay, I missed that, then I got it.
Yeah, I'm just.
I'm assuming that wasn't just for one.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
Unless we're using that gold filter.
We're using the good
Special
stuff.
oil.
Your tower. The
Tower.
second tower payment for this year.
The second payment, right?
Oh, on a good news, on a side note, we talked to Brad Chesterton on the insurance and he didn't think we'd have more than a couple percent increase on insurance because we bumped all that up last year. So I mean, we did try to research and be solid on the.
Oh, in
federal.
terms of liability and all the.
Yeah, he didn't see us going
How
up,
much was your?
yeah.
Well, not a big repair on Nashville then, Dan? Obviously, the Hoosier X bill isn't that big, relatively speaking.
How much?
It was like 1,300.
13, 12.
Oh, that's back truck.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the shed.
Yeah, on the shed.
it's a small thing.
It is with
Surf line blue part.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
and flooding.
Mhm.
So what was, refresh my memory on the vehicle, what did we do on that? Was it tires, was it? The air, I can't
It was
remember.
air conditioning, wasn't it?
Air conditioning, but didn't we pay for that the month before?
Yeah.
Or did I just tell them about it last month? That might be it. I just.
Might have
told you
come
about
due,
it and we
yeah.
just Paid it this month. That was air conditioner on the blue truck.
When's Neil?
Yep. It was $4,000.
The AC was repair?
Huh?
So what's the point big on it?
Yeah, a lot more than that, whatever. What do we pay for?
Pull out my thing from Georgia, where's my phone?
No, I did it.
I don't even know.
No, hell no, I didn't.
All right, does anyone have any other questions? Georgia, I'm looking for what you sent. I got way too many emails.
Good for.
That's why I'm trying to get through this. Here it is. Was that on the front page? Is that on the back page? That 2,200, what all it was in it?
I'm gonna pay you to make my player filters.
I just kinda curious.
Two sets of wipers.
Adds up quick. But
I don't know.
No, my one from you just says
Yeah,
28,
like
18 rand.
for
for
that box.
it. It doesn't give a,
$40 a pop, yeah, the one's 30, $40 a pop, and it's like, even the little, the rear one, it's like.
That's your credit card that you're looking at.
Yeah, the region's back up.
Oh, so
So
it's
the
everything.
change was $67.
Okay, that makes sense. It's not just,
Yeah, I'd say, like,
Typical scale.
okay.
The detail is on last week's report, and I don't print that whole thing because it's like 10 pages.
yeah, that's fine.
okay,
That's fine.
that's fine, we just want to make sure.
Okay, I was just curious, cause it's like,
Adam, that was like a.
I know the
credit
little
card
thing
bill.
at the end is just like the tag.
2,200 just
See that online because.
with multiple.
Yeah, it's just, you only see the one thing, that's the last item. of the list.
Yeah, okay, so look, I need a motion to pay both the escrow and the vouchers.
I move to approve the vouchers and the July utility escrow trends.
I'll
Joe?
second.
I have a motion by Joe, a second by David. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay. Financial clerk, we also have our funds report and our revenue
Yeah,
report.
there's, I did your fund report. And this is the one from last week, and I was trying to figure out why the 806 fund is in the negative for current balance. Now, last month we had 3 payrolls to distribute for FICA Med and retirement and some other things. So I told Ben, I did some work on it, I really couldn't see anything wrong. Everything looks right in the distributions. But the payroll fund is in the negative, so if it's still that way at the end of August, we'll look a little deeper and see what's
You
going
think it
on.
may be a timing issue,
But
is
yeah,
how
I
it's
think
heading
the
off?
timing of payments on things like PERF. So I couldn't find any distributions that were not correct. If they're not correct, they've been wrong since.
Okay, okay.
So we'll dig into that a little deeper and figure out why that is the way it is. But the unapplied cash is, it's going up and down the way you would expect it to as we work. People, they pay extra in the winter, so they don't have to pay while they're in Florida, and we're working those down.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it goes up and down in kind of a cycle. It looks good. The payable escrow was high because I actually forgot to transfer on the date I was supposed to. So that current balance includes the escrow for July. And it got transferred after the first of the month in August. So it's back down now where it should be.
Okay.
And you had a question about what your maintenance reserve is. Probably time for me to have you do a transfer from your operating to your maintenance reserve. unless you're planning to do any specific projects yet this year, there's a lot in the operating that should be in Trust Indiana, and everything in the 602 is in Trust Indiana, making you 3 7/8 interest.
Well, I mean, if we don't have anything pending, we can get it
It
out.
takes 24 hours to move it back if you have an emergency.
So you wanna go ahead and let her transfer some over?
Again, we're gonna have well cleaning, and I can't tell you what price.
Okay.
Maybe anywhere from 40 to 60.
No, I can take half or more of what's there and that's almost still your entire budget for the rest of the year.
Okay. Why don't we do that?
Oh, is this for
Why don't we
a
maximize
project?
So we're looking
or
at,
just-
to
To
maximize?
operating funds to maintenance reserve.
Okay.
How much do you want, or we need a number with that, or?
I need a motion for someone to say that we were gonna transfer,
Oh, invested in Trust Indiana or
I know, but we need a number
Do you need
associated with that,
a number.
how much we're taking out,
yeah, that would be good.
what are you thinking, 350?
Yeah.
Which line we're looking at? Where it's pulling from?
The 601, I believe,
350.
Look, so we have.
so we're pulling out of 601, putting in
Because we
the
can
602.
always Come back to it.
Yeah, I mean, we can get it out if we need it, but
Yeah,
you might as well make it some money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Okay,
absolutely, that's the way
Okay.
to do.
350.
Okay, I make a motion that we transfer $350,000 out of the 601 fund operating to the 602 maintenance reserve.
I have a motion by David, I have a second by Ron, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Georgia, for getting that taken care of.
If I have to have a resolution for that, we can deal with it next week.
Any other financial clerk information?
Your other one was the revenue, so you could see how that's going. We had a request for a public record today, which probably came in after you had left your computer. They would like a copy of the IDEM report. She was worried about the E. coli thing about the late report that Godlove filed over here, and it was supposed to be over there. And we got a ding for not having an E. coli.
The timing
report.
issue,
That was the timing.
it wasn't the quality.
Actually done.
She right, and she understands that sort of, she just wants a proof, she wants that. Something from, with IDEM's letterhead that said that.
Yes, indeed, we did
They
pass,
have,
yeah.
She can go onto their website and take a look.
Okay.
Well, we just need to,
Well, let's give her that.
We need to give her that
Just
information.
give her that
Yeah.
information.
you cannot pass out something from Ike, is what you're saying. It's already out there.
I can't get nothing.
Yeah.
I
With
can't
their
get
letter.
anything with their letter.
But we
Yes.
could follow up by saying, here is their website, you can, and with directions on how to access it, so you can see the test
Yeah, if we can get
results.
the direct URL, that'd be better, but probably not just because of the way the state.
I got it.
It don't look good.
I know.
But yeah, I think given the.
If it worked
website-
well, or we
She
wanted to
wants
have the
to-
timing issue in the
If
first
she
place.
wants to see the result,
That's what she wants to, with her own eyes.
have her come in here.
She did come in today, but I didn't know what to give her, so she filled out
It's
the public
on-
sense. Public record.
If she comes over, I can show her copied the report that went to, that shows the lab report, which will show it.
She can see it but not copy it.
Because it's not it's what goes to IDM, but IDM, what they give, what they present on their system does not have laboratory results.
Okay, so she would have two
From a company.
choices.
It does not say,
So she really, if we went to their website, it'd just say water met the criteria.
that's all it's on the side.
So she could go to their website and see that, yes, the water met the criteria, or if she wants to see what we sent in from the lab, there's two choices to help her have ease.
Do
Peace of
public
mind.
record requests have to give them an actual record, or can Just
there
letting
is
them-
one.
If there can, or just letting them look at
Yeah,
it.
if there isn't one that's a public record, like not all of IDAM stuff probably is a public record.
Right.
There's, but
So
what they-
whatever there is, we have to direct people to be able to.
And by letting
Yeah.
them look at the actual results.
If that would give
Dan
her peace of
submitted.
mind, then that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think, yeah, like I said, just give her,
give her a choice,
So
the,
I need-
the email
I'll need
or
the
the,
directions on how to get to. If I can have a.
Joe, that's you.
I don't know.
Write down the.
you know,
instructions.
how the difficulty I have finding stuff on the same website, it's like,
Yeah.
I have trouble. finding
right.
budget Numbers.
We're gonna keep moving here, folks. Old business, utility rate committee.
we met with them. Oh, no, we talked. You've talked to them yeah, we talked.
We had a Zoom meeting
We
with
had
Robert
Zoom
Reynolds,
meeting And, there's some things he wants from us.
and one of them was the budget, and another one was a project list, which Dan is compiling. And then we're getting back to him, but he seemed good to work with. So that was that,
I will add, like I forwarded to the rest of the.
and I have not had a chance to look
That's
at
fine,
that
I'm
yet,
gonna
yeah.
talk about it now. Instead of actually meeting, we actually had an email exchange instead of a meeting. About, cause basically it boiled down to what do we do for landlords
Mhm.
that. You know, how do we deal with the minimum bill and landlords? And, Robert gave us, one of two ways. One, when a tenant moves out and the unit is option one, when a tenant moves out and the unit is vacant, the landlord may contact the water utility to have service turned off. Once the unit is occupied again, either the landlord or the new tenant must contact the utility to restore service. All applicable utility fees would apply, including a disconnect fee at shut off and a reconnect fee when service is restored, paid by the party requesting the service. Option two, when a rental property becomes vacant, continue billing the property as usual. If payment is not made, shut off the water as you would for any other customer and keep service disconnected until the balance is paid in full. The new tenant asks to transfer the account into their name. Either one, refuse a transfer until the landlord pays the outstanding balance in full, or two, require the new tenant to pay the unpaid charges. And he says in practice, option one is used far more often than option two. And he says, in my view, option two is going to fairly burden tenants while allowing the landlord to avoid paying.
Yeah, that doesn't seem
That's
right
fine,
at
it can
all.
Still be effective after it happens once or twice. The rental unit may become much harder to rent.
I don't think it'd be legal.
I just don't think you'd, I say no on option two.
I'd like to see that in code.
That was just, yeah, that's a Robert, so,
Mm-mm,
but we're
No.
also talking about,
That's not
um,
right. That's not fair.
so,
So you caught my ear on the first one. I kind of read that before the meeting. The landlord calls to shut off the tenants.
to shut off, yeah, to shut off the
To shut
service,
The water.
yeah,
Well, to get a final reading,
That's after the tenant has
What?
applied for a final one.
then shut it off and treat it as.
Because if that's step one, we never do that. Step one is always the tenant calls and says, don't bill me anymore, I'm leaving, if we're lucky. Or they just let 2 months of bill.
So in option one, does that mean there's no bill then from when it gets turned off until it gets back turned on?
Correct.
So there's no minimum bill at all?
So there's no minimum bill at all.
No, he said there's,
Nope,
There's
option
a
one, when a tenant
reconnect.
moves out, you pay disconnect and reconnect fees. There's no, he doesn't talk
And
about
that's
it.
where we were trying to,
What is that called? What's a disconnect and a reconnect fee?
$60 ago.
Yeah, we only do once,
total?
once at shut off. Well, we only charge, there's no shut off and turn on fee, there's only, there's just
we're
one,
billing to shut it off.
yeah.
And that's 60.
It was 30.
Actually,
Yeah, so we just put it in one bill.
Sure, okay.
So. Option two is what
That,
we were thinking of wanting to do because. We made the argument that just because you're not using water doesn't mean.
Well, the meter has to be paid for.
The meter still has to be paid for, the service lines,
Any depreciation.
But that's
costs.
not the new renter's responsibility, that'd be the landlord.
that'd be the landlord.
So,
Fine up here. Issue comes up, I understand the landlord's position. But he's saying the utility still incurs a cost, that's why the minimum charge applies.
Yes. We still have to maintain meter, we still have to maintain service lines,
mhm.
or our lines to the service line.
Yeah, we wanna try and capture that cost over
Yes.
some lifetime. For
Right.
meters, we have a easily defined, everything else is.
Well, but it's not a meter, it's not,
No, but the minimum.
it's not hours used, it's 10 years.
Right, no, no,
So
that's
I'm saying, so during that 10 years, if it's vacant 3 years, we still need to acquire that,
Yeah.
Right.
that 30%.
Is there a way to have the tenant pay and then they call and say, I'm moving, shut off my water? And then something in our system that triggers it to go back to a minimum bill charged to the landlord until it's rented again?
Yes.
Would that
We
make
had a
sense?
couple people that were not in the program that way.
But we're redoing the
Right.
program,
The
so
program's-
everybody will
Yeah,
start
right,
in the
right.
program
Trying to pull everybody in.
to be uniform,
Well, just kind of tell them, yeah, this is how it is.
starting in January.
We can't make a rule for you just because of that.
And then when a new tenant comes in,
Yes.
That
then it
minimum bill goes away.
it goes away and it goes to a water bill to the tenant.
But we
As
have.
long as our
yeah.
system can do that.
Yeah.
Well, what it does is the account that's, the person that's leaving, their account is
Zero out.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
And the final process, you have the option of putting in a new tenant or transferring back to
Minimum.
the owner.
Terrible.
The,
Freeholder, that's perfect.
yeah, and then it would
And
just be a minimum. bill.
My thing is, I teaching the clerk how to do that right now. My thing is, if the tenant has covered the minimum bill when they moved out, we start the account billing after. We don't double dip
Right,
Yeah,
the landlord and the tenant. But if the
Absolutely.
tenant leaves,
On the 1st, but they have paid to the 15th.
right, if they leave early in the bill cycle, then we just charge them the gallons, and then whoever comes in next pays the minimum bill.
yeah.
I mean, I think that's,
So that's how
Consistent.
we're
We just
doing
have to
it.
decide what our minimum bill is.
So it's not double.
We
dip.
do have what the minimum.
well, we currently do have.
We
that.
currently, but then is
Yeah.
it sufficient is the,
Well, that's
so
something that we'll be
the-
looking at
The
with Bob.
question was, is the minimum bill still gonna include the gallons, or is it just gonna be a service charge? That was the initial question, and it's good to get the landlord things settled out, but I take exception to what he said, because I don't think that's. I don't
There's a
think
new
that's
tenant.
Maybe you do go with the service
Yeah.
charge, just say it's,
The new
it's a-
tenant, the new tenant wouldn't be paying anything but
other than what they have
Yeah. they
said,
would've-
turn on, I'm
The
moving in.
deposit,
the deposit and
I agree.
I agree with
No
that part.
turn off.
I don't agree yet that they have to pay back 3 months of minimum payments because the place's
That's
been
not-
empty for 3 months.
That's not
That's
their,
not the tenant's
Right.
fault.
No.
well, I mean, all we're saying is someone has to pay the minimum bill.
Somebody has to pay that.
I think that goes
That
back to the
that.
Should
owner
go
of the
back to the
property.
land.
Yeah,
Should go back to the, excuse me, should go back to the freeholder.
Yeah,
Right.
however you want.
I don't
Whoever
care
owns
if you're a
that.
landlord or what.
right, issue it back to
You're
the
the person
freeholder.
that votes, has the voting rights for this.
Right, I
Conservancy.
agree, I agree.
well, it might not be a freeholder, it could be a landowner.
That we serve
They're the
water
same
to,
thing.
cause we serve
Well,
water.
our customers are not members. It's their customer, they're a property owner that has service.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the freeholder works for some.
Some,
Yeah, I mean, if you're in
Property
the
owner works
district,
for 'em.
you're a freeholder, otherwise, well, you're just getting charged, whatever.
Okay.
So I say, yeah, I mean. There's no real difference, I think, between a minimum whatever plus gallons and just saying, you know what, just roll that all together. It's like every month. This is what you paid, and then after that, you just
Because
gallons.
to me, if they're flowing more than the minimum rate has a certain amount of gallons that goes with that.
2,000.
So if they're moving more than that, they're not paying the minimum rate because they're actually using it.
Mhm.
So then they're not getting the minimum bill, they're getting their actual bill, which would be
Right.
higher than the.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, we could
So-
just, I think we're gonna probably adjust our minimum bill. To be more than our current minimum plus gallons and just. And then just change it and just, I say just, here's your minimum bill and then gallons,
Well,
no minimum
I
gallons.
want to thank you for what you've got, and I think we've got some framework, and I don't think we have to discuss the fine points tonight. But I do
We're
think,
getting moved, we're
I
moving
think we're
forward.
moving, yeah.
I
And
think we're
I
just to
wanna
the
thank
point
you for
that
that.
Robert has enough information. I don't think he necessarily cares too much about how we deal with.
How
that.
we're gonna deal with that.
I think
I
we just
agree.
have to have this is what it. this
Yeah,
is
how we
it is.
wanna do it.
Minimum bills paid every month.
And now cover the meter expense. Okay,
Yeah.
any other old business, ready to move to new business? We are waiting to hear back from the legislative assistant of the state senator. I've spoke with them twice. They're waiting to hear back from Senator Buchanan's legislative assistant
This is the,
for us to trying to recruit money for the levy. Yeah,
and this is the consortium of Conservancy of Utilities.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is working. And when I have something more than that, I'll tell you. Guest comments we've handled. And, I apologize for us going late, but I think part of that was, it was time well
We had a
spent.
half hour worth.
Yeah, and it was time well spent because we want to work with
Well,
our customers
they had
and to
two,
make it.
Right, what they have vision in their mind and what people were telling is not what we're.
So I think we've accomplished that, and I think we need to consider what they need, but what we need, and we need to work together and
well, like I
communicate
say,
that
we
well.
know there's gonna be a fence in the future. The only question is,
Where and
Where
what type and.
what type.
And,
And
you
to
know,
me,
working with them.
anything besides chain link fence is a waste of our money.
Yeah.
well,
probably.
and it's like,
Yeah.
if they want.
Because there's no maintenance really with a chain link fence.
Well, if they want aesthetic.
Wood fence, you're gonna have to replace it.
They might be able to put something up, but,
I mean, if they want
Maintain.
aesthetically pleasing, that's, we could put it
Treat it
through.
every 2 years.
yeah,
Anybody have meetings?
I do.
Oh.
All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.